All right, thanks, Amanda. That's kind of the timeline of how we got here. Now, this is Jacob Brown. I don't know if you're familiar with the last name of Brown here in Missouri. But I grew up going to camp with Jacob Brown. And who knew that so many years later, we would be playing in church together. Jacob's specialty is a man after my own heart. He likes the details. Like, if you've got a big project, some people can think about where it's going to be when it's finished, but you need people around you who can get you there. You know what I mean? Who can figure out the details to get from here to here to here to here to finally there. And Jacob's one of those people, and we're thrilled to have him on the team. Oh, here's your question. You ready? Tell about a time when God impressed you.
Okay, so there I was. It was July 2014. We were all there. We were at the Gray Lounge at Camp Sharon, where I grew up, attended Community Chapel Church of God. Our team had our first official business meeting there. At this meeting, we discussed and prayed about what God had envisioned for our church. In this meeting, Amanda said, well, we should start praying for God to give us a building. We said, that's a great idea. So we all started praying that. Like we do with most big prayers that we ask God, we didn't really understand how He would answer that prayer. And all the things that would come along with that. Pastor Roy Romine in April approached us with the possibility of joining with the table. Oh, we got a bunch of slides, I'm sorry. You can just kind of keep them going. So their church started meeting with us and discussing the possibility of joining. They had a vote in August to join the church, the table. With this decision came a mortgage-free building and a bunch of great friends and money to kickstart the renovations on the existing building. Since August, we've committed hours to planning and executing the renovation at the church. We held our Easter service there, where we spent time writing the scriptures on the floor, so our foundation is on the Lord's Word. With the help of the table community and many others like the Jeff City group who's come and done work days with us on renovating, we appreciate that. We hope to stay on track for launching gatherings in this building in August. We'll launch with an open house, and we hope you all will attend. Until then, you'll find us working hard on the church.
Thank you, Jacob. All right, next up. This is Sarah Helm. I met Sarah Helm when she was in 6th grade as part of my youth ministry at Life Quest. It's crazy. And I discovered early on that Sarah Helm had the spiritual gift of leadership, as she would lead at school, her FCA events, as she would lead her teams that she played on, as she would lead different ministries within our youth group. And so thankful to have Sarah Helm on the team as our worship person, right? All right, here you go, Sarah. Here's your question. Share about a time when you felt empowered.
So there I was. I was a senior in high school, attending Life Quest Church in Springfield, Missouri, when our worship pastor at the time asked me if I would be interested in interning with him for the semester. I kind of thought he was crazy, but I said yes. We spent the next several weeks digging into different aspects of worship ministry. He met with me weekly, pouring into me not only as a leader overall, but also as a worship leader. And much of that experience and that learning is why I'm leading worship now at the table. Here at the table, we've identified a void in the lack of involvement in young people in the church globally. We have also cast a vision about that void that we desire to intentionally fill by empowering emerging leaders. Our investment in these young leaders is to encourage them in their mission to share the gospel with every man, woman, and child. We desire to work with young leaders to discern and confirm their calling as kingdom leaders and equip them with the foundation they need for a lifetime of Christian ministry and leadership. So tangibly, this all sounds good, but what does it look like for us? At the table, in the near future, we would like to start an internship program, offering graduating high school students and current college students the opportunity to join our community, be poured into, and developed as leaders. We desire to be a place where young leaders can come and solidify their passion for ministry before making concrete decisions about their future. We look forward to implementing this and many other ways of empowering emerging leaders, because this is definitely a part of our heart at the table. Currently, we're also supporting organizations who are already empowering emerging leaders. We support Missouri Ministries, who have facilitated MYLI, the Missouri Youth Leadership Institute, for high school student leaders. Missouri Ministries, as many of you all know, is also partners with MYF, who that is planned by student leaders overseen by youth pastors, many of you who are here. We are also supporters of Camp Sharon, which pours into hundreds of leaders of all ages every summer. And locally, we also support the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in St. Charles, which is an organization that trains and empowers Christian leaders in middle schools and high schools to impact their schools for Christ through sports.
All right, thank you, Sarah. All right, and finally, this is Samantha Brown. And I still have a hard time with that, because Samantha Brown used to be Samantha Smith in 6th grade in my youth group at Park Church of God. And I just want to say there was one day that I woke up and I realized that Samantha was no longer our student, but she was our friend. And it's amazing how that happens in ministry, right? And Samantha graduated from Evangel University with a degree in communications. She worked at the Healthy Church Network, right, serving with the Assemblies of God there for 2 years. And she is our social media communications expert. So if you see it on Facebook, if you see it on our website, she built our very talented. We're so lucky to have her on our team. So your question, Sam, tell about a time when you realized someone had invested in you.
So, if you're catching on, I like to start the 120s with, so there I was, because it brings you into the moment. There I was at a wedding a couple of months ago when I was receiving a rib-cracking squeeze from a 9-year-old woman who taught my Sunday school class when I was a toddler at Highland Park Church of God in London. And it was at that moment that I realized how significantly people in churches all across this state had invested in my life. This lady was telling me how excited she was to read our newsletters every month. Amanda's mom does an awesome job of mailing them out to our non-email users. And so she gets it from her mailbox each month and reads what we're doing at the table and is so thrilled to still be a part of what we're doing. And so it was just amazing to me how people like that, who've invested in all of us, are still actively involved in what we're doing right now in ministry. So from Sunday school teachers like that to pastors, mentors, and friends, your investment into our team has been deep and very wide. It's so significant to me. I get so excited talking about this because there are people in this room and people who are not here, who are in many places across the country, who have invested time and energy and tears and prayers into all of us. And it's not only that you've invested into the vision that God has for the table, but you've invested and impacted the way that we have learned to follow Christ. And we wouldn't be here without any of you. So our thanks in that doesn't even compare to what you've contributed already to what we're doing. So one of the pieces to the heart of the table is to encourage strong networks. And we are excited about this piece because we believe that we're better together. And so we've chosen to financially invest and be actively involved in Missouri Ministries and in Church of God at the national level. And so these networks, along with all of the individuals that assemble to create them, are essential to God's plan for His kingdom. And so we're thrilled to be a part of what He's doing in the big picture. So we wanted to take a moment, here's the visual, to show you and represent all of the people at the churches across the state who have invested in what we're doing at the table. So I just want to take a moment and name all of these churches because I think that that's important to acknowledge what people are giving and offering. So Highland Park Church of God, Northern Missouri Campground, there's First Church of God in Jefferson City, Walnut Lawn Church of God in Springfield, New Hope Church of God in Rollover, First Church of God St. James, First Church of God Donovan, Church of God at Dill Run, Life Plus Church in Springfield, Cypress Street Church of God in West Monroe, Louisiana, Community Chapel Church of God in Gravis Mills, Grand Avenue Church of God in Carthage, and Missouri Ministries. Each of these churches represents people who have intentionally invested in our church planting journey. So we just wanted to take this time in front of all of you to say thank you.
Thank you.
Because we wouldn't be here without you.